Hey guys, thanks so much for watching Common Sense Cooking. I'm James, hope you're having a wonderful day. I just wanted to introduce a new series I'm going to be doing on top of my normal videos. I've started reading the book You Can Farm by Joel Salatin. It's very widely and highly regarded as one of the, if not the best book on the subject of entrepreneurial farming. That focuses on holistic, regenerative agriculture, and a scalable model that you can start in your own backyard and then build up as you get better at it. A lot of farming is not very sustainable, not just because of the methods and how the food, whether it's plants or animals, are grown, but also because it's not scalable. You have to buy hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars of equipment up front. You're going to stay in that debt the whole time. You're never going to make enough to get on top of it. Farming has gotten a really bad rap because of how it's been done for the last 50 or so years, and really kind of starting back in the Industrial Revolution. But there is a very sustainable way. I mean, the majority of all people who have ever lived have been farmers. It is almost the default position. Like, unless you're really good at something else, you farm. And I feel like a lot of people are feeling that draw to go back to that. But we don't have a lot of examples of what that can look like on a holistic, regenerative, a good stewardship, scalable model. And this book goes through that. And so I'm only a few chapters in, but it's already been so impactful that I really felt like I needed to do a series on this. I'm just going to go, chapter by chapter. They should be pretty short videos. Going to release them throughout the week. Just add a little bit extra content. Of course, like everything else on this channel, I am going to be doing this talking about this from an Orthodox perspective. I've said it before, everything that we do, everything that we believe, is based on our underlying beliefs. Our underlying beliefs are going to be the filter through which we see the world. And, I fully accept that that's the case as an Orthodox Christian. Orthodoxy corrects my vision, or I would say that it corrects my vision. It's a lens through which I look. Really, the only people, if I'm having a discussion with, that I don't trust are those who believe that they just have a neutral belief, or that they don't have presuppositions, they just accept the facts. That's a very dangerous position to be in, because everybody is working off of presuppositions, underlying beliefs, and if you don't understand what those are, then they are more likely to control you. The quote by Nietzsche, "God is dead," is often thrown out as kind of a victory cry for our generation. But in fact, he kind of said that with a great amount of mourning, because he didn't believe in God, either. What he says in the context is, we've basically killed God. We've, killed our Creator, the divine foundation of our morality. So now we're going to have to figure out for ourselves. And he basically prophesies what happens with Hitler and Stalin and these all these massacres that have happened since then, which far outweigh the wars that we hear about in ancient history and everything, as far as number of people killed, the hatred behind it. Wars used to be pretty practical. I'm not saying that they were right, but they were much more practical, and they've become more ideological now that we're trying to basically fill the hole to replace God. Anyway, obviously this is just another example of underlying beliefs, my presuppositions that I'm constantly working through and trying to conform to something that is greater than myself. I mean, they're having an effect in how I'm reading this book already, how I'm going into it. And so, just as a forewarning, I am going to be, talking about this book not only for the very practical and helpful advice, but, it will be filtered through my beliefs as an Orthodox Christian. So, the introduction is very short, so there's not much to go into as far as that goes. And then the next video will be the first chapter. I'll be talking about that. But basically, in the this less than 2-page introduction, he just talks about the fact that farming has been very recently kind of viewed as this very difficult thing. Nobody ever makes money. Like, if you've ever watched farming videos like I have, kind of the normal industrial farmers that you watch, and they're great to watch, and you can certainly learn a lot from them. It's not the type of farming that I want to do, but when they talk about it, I mean, they'll talk about their budget, and they've never been in the green. They've always, or the black, they've always been in the red, and that's just kind of been a given for farming in our time. Not only is it just a given that you're going to take more from the land than you're able to put back, it's a given that you're going to spend more than you're ever going to make. You're going to have to depend on government subsidies to keep you afloat and keep you up. It's an extremely unsustainable way of farming, and has really been one of those filters or lenses in the way that we view farming that makes it unappealing. Like, who wants to go into that? And he's just kind of laying the foundation that it doesn't have to be that way. In fact, for true entrepreneurs who want to change their perspective like he has, and he's been extremely successful if you look into it, and many others have too. So this isn't just a daydream, but you can set those expectations that your soil is going to get better and better every year. I mean, check out Joel Salatin, Paul Gauchi. Man, I'm going blank, but I'll definitely be bringing some others up throughout the rest of this kind of book review, book study of sorts. But basically, for these entrepreneurs who want to do this in a holistic way, who have the expectation that you can build your soil, not just deplete it, and you can do that in natural ways. You don't have to pull nutrients from over here and destroy this land in order to keep your land good. There are natural practices of humans actually working with nature, the way that we were always intended to. Nature actually doesn't handle itself very well without human intervention. Our national forests, I think I've mentioned this before, but our national forests, I mean, they're decaying because there's no management there. There's no human management. And as an Orthodox Christian, I believe that humans, we were always intended to be part of nature. Like, we're not a separate part of that. I think in our time we've gone so far in the direction of disconnecting ourselves that's an issue. And then there's a counter movement to no, we just need to let nature do its own thing. But in reality, nature needs human management. It's just like raising kids. Like, if you want a tree to grow properly in its first few years, you have to be very protective and helpful and kind of nurture that tree to grow up healthy. You prune it, all these things are going to make it healthy and produce better soil, better fruit, and nature can grow, it can progress, it can improve even with human management, with good human stewardship. And I think this book is a good example. And kind of the reason I want to share this from an Orthodox perspective is I think that it is important that we kind of go back to that mindset of a farmer as the default profession, and doing it in this way, like, we can see that we can restore nature. We're not trying to produce paradise on earth. That's not going to happen. But your beliefs affect your actions, and if you do believe in paradise, if you do believe that you are intended and even commanded to make the world a better place, not only socially by helping the poor, but also in the way we help the land, that presupposition, that underlying belief is going to affect how you handle whatever God has given you ownership of or a stewardship over. So look forward to future episodes. Once again, this is not going to be in place of any of my normal episodes, my weekly uploads. I just kind of want to do this on top of that. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this with anyone you think might enjoy it. Sign up for the email list if you want to stay on top of updates like this. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. God bless.